Hey, it's Friday and it is the witching hour, I suppose. Yeah, very nice. Cool. Hey, it's your good friend, it's your pal, it's your compadre. It's TC, everybody. What's going on the big show today? Well, we're talking a bunch of stuff. We're talking about our Battle Royale, our throwdown of the day. 2 albums released September 5th in history, including Soundgarden versus Y&T. Very nice. I'm going to do Self-Indulgent Me and do my top 5 Nirvana songs. It's a short list, but hey, it is what it is. And then what else are we talking about? Oh, some news, of course. Ozzy, we got some news on that. More Ozzy news, little Iron Maiden, little Guns N' Roses. Everybody loves that good stuff. We'll relive the past because I always love reliving the past with a show from 1984 that's actually loaded. Very cool. And then what else? Oh, some new vinyl announcements, new tour announcements. And then that's kind of it. And then your interactive chat. If you're hanging out live, of course, we are live every Monday through Friday, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. That is 3 on the Pacific Coast and 5 in the Central Time Zone. And yeah, of course, you can check the podcast out on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. Also, the video is on Spotify. And then we're on Facebook and YouTube as well. So very sexy. Very, very, very sexy. All right, let's get the party started. I am going to find this. Oh, yeah, here you go. Reliving the past. This is from the, well, let me go over here really quick with this. All right, this is from the Mountain Air in California. In 1984, I was at this show. No, I'm kidding. I was not at this show. I wish I was at this show. This is a hell of a lineup. The Cars were the headliner. Very nice. Of course, the Cars doing Heartbeat City Love right there. And Drive, Magic, You Might Think, Looking for Love. Of course, the title track, Heartbeat City. Such a great album. Produced by, who produced that, Amanda? That's right, Mutt Lange. Thank you very much, Amanda. And then Huey Lewis and the News, obviously coming off of the Sports album in 83, were huge, especially in the Bay Area. I guess, is Mountain View in the Bay Area? I'm guessing Mountain View is in the Bay Area, or Mountain Air is in the Bay Area. I know Mountain View is in the Bay Area. Berlin, very, very cool. Take My Breath Away. Had that come out? When did Top Gun come out? Let me do a search for that really quick. Top Gun movie. When did that come out? That came out in 1986. So I guess Berlin maybe a little early in the game there. So maybe Riding on the Metro, one of their hits. REM, very cool, when they were a young band just kind of starting out. And then what I love about this poster is that it says very special guest. You're never going to guess who the special guest was. Not in a million years. 1984, keep in mind. They had a big song on MTV and on the radio. That song was called Round and Round. So very nice. That is the lineup for Mountain Air in 1984. The Cars, Huey Lewis and the News, baby, Berlin, REM, and Rat. I would go see all those bands. I would probably not go see REM. Not the biggest REM fan, though I do like some REM stuff. What do I love? I love Finest Work song. Very good song. Also Man in the Moon. A good song as well, and a couple of others. I do not like It's the End of the World, and I know it. I hate that song because there was a station that famously changed formats from hot rock and 93X to 93 The Edge in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and they played that song like for 24 hours straight. And it was basically the end of the 80s hard rock into 90s alternative stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'm out on that one. So no dice, no shirt, no shoes, no dice on the whole REM, at least in my humble opinion. All right, I am going to say hello to Beat After Beat because Beat After Beat is the coolest man on 2 shoes. Is that right? Would that be accurate? Very nice. Let's see. Beat After Beat mentions Turtles co-founder Mark Volman, dead at 78. I couldn't name a Turtles song, unfortunately. I don't know what to say there, but rest in peace. I know I've heard of the Turtles, but I couldn't name a Turtles song. Can you name a Turtles song without looking one up? Anyways, there you go. All right, let's get to some news. Rock royalty. So MTV, remember them? They used to play music videos back in the 80s, some in the 90s, not so much in the last 25, 30 years. But MTV still has their VMA awards. And I guess this is the one reason to watch the VMAs, I suppose. That would be pretty much the only reason. And I think this is probably them featuring a tribute to Ozzy would be, what would that? Probably the first time they've actually had a rock band or rock songs played at the MTV Music Awards in probably 10, 20 years. I know I might be stretching it a little bit. I'm sure the Foo Fighters have been the token rock act over the past 10, 15 years. But anyways, MTV doing a tribute. It is what it is. It is MTV. So you're wondering who is doing the tribute? Well, Aerosmith's Steven Tyler. Very nice. Of course, Steven sounded great at the Ozzy tribute there. Also, Joe Perry, Youngblood, Adam Wakeman, and of course, can't forget the great and talented and fantastic Mr. Nuno Bettencourt. So that's coming up. When is that date? Let's see. Is there a date for this? Let me see. The 2025. It is coming up. This weekend. Sunday night. So there you go. So we'll have to tune that in. So, and by the way, Jennifer's birthday tomorrow. So happy birthday to my wonderful and beautiful and talented wife, Jennifer. Hey, Jenny. Happy birthday. So very cool. We'll be celebrating all weekend long. All right. We celebrated with a couple of hamburgers this morning. Hamburgers for breakfast, the cornerstone of any nutritious meal plan. To quote Jules Winfield. Is it Jules Winfield? Yeah, Jules Winfield from Pulp Fiction. So there you go. Oh, speaking of Pulp Fiction, I saw that, they're shooting The Adventures of Cliff Booth, which is kind of a continuation of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's the Brad Pitt character, the Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio movie about kind of an alternative timeline on what the Manson family does. They don't end up killing, what's her name? I don't remember her name, unfortunately. So, but anyways, Cliff Booth was a great character. Quentin Tarantino wrote a screenplay for that. And David Fincher, of course, who did Seven and Panic Room and Mindhunter on Netflix and a lot of other great movies. What am I forgetting here? Panic, Seven, Fight Club, among others. Great director. Brad Pitt talked him into directing. So apparently they're shooting that movie right now. And it might be in California it's being shot. But anyways, speaking of Jules Winfield and hamburgers, remember in Pulp Fiction, he references Big Kahuna Burger. Well, there's a clip out there on the internet showing Brad Pitt in character as Cliff Booth walking into wait for it, after what, 31 years, we finally get somebody going into a Big Kahuna Burger on film in the Quentin Tarantino world. So that was pretty cool. Another thing that I thought was pretty cool is that Deco Entertainment, my friends at Deco Entertainment, are actually, and this is super cool, they've reunited the original Ozzy lineup. This is the Speak of the Devil lineup from Ozzy. And it includes Brad Gillis, Rudy Sarzo, and Tommy Aldridge. And it's the vocalist is Rick Hughes, a guy I'm not familiar with, but still, I think it's pretty cool. And they're doing a cover of the Who song, "The Real Me," which is a great song. Didn't Wasp cover that as well? I think Wasp covered that song as well. So, but anyways, so you got Tommy Aldridge back on drums. Nice. Rudy Sarzo slapping the bass. And then Brad Gillis of Night Ranger fame back on guitar. So I think that's super cool. Very, very sexy in my humble opinion. Also, what else is going on? Oh, Steve Harris is defending the Blaze Bayley era. Blaze Bayley, I'm guessing that was not his real name, was it? He wasn't born Blaze Bayley. Honey, what should we name our new son? How about Bay Blaze? Well, I can't even talk. How about Blaze? Oh, well, and what's our last name again, honey? It's Bailey. Spelled like bay leaves and then L-E-Y. So probably not. Anyways, but Steve Harris defending the Blaze Bayley era of Iron Maiden albums. He says people will appreciate them later. Okay, Steve. I love Steve. I love Steve Harris. I love Iron Maiden. Bruce Dickinson. Paul Di'Anno was obviously the original. Well, one of the original singers, at least on the first two records, and then he was gone, and then Bruce obviously left, and then Blaze Bayley came in. He is basically the Tim Ripper Owens of Iron Maiden. it's unfortunate, in my humble opinion, that that era had to happen without Bruce Dickinson, but it's just one of those things. I think it taints the legacy just a little bit, but just a tiny amount. I mean, the music might have been good. I never listened to those Blaze Bayley records because, hey, Bruce Dickinson, the man. There's no other singer, at least in my mind, in that band other than Bruce Dickinson. I know Paul Di'Anno, but, you know, it is what it is. But so there you go. I don't know. Any thoughts on that? Not too shabby. And then finally, these what is this? Blabbermouth? Come on, Blabbermouth. You can do better than that. Sticking like an ad right in the middle of the right in the middle of the page. That's so ridiculous. Anyways, this is kind of a cool story. Ex-Guns N' Roses drummer Steven Adler plays through "You Could Be Mine" for Soul Tone cymbals. Soul Tone. When I said tone, my Minnesota accent came out, you know, as soon as I said tone. But yeah, of course, I don't think Steven actually played. That was Matt Sorum. I don't know if Steven is actually credited on Use Your Illusion for playing the drums on You Could Be Mine. I need to look that up, actually. I'm not going to do it right now, but in the future I shall. But yeah, actually those symbols look pretty sexy in my humble opinion. So there you go. Thought it was cool. I don't know. Figured I'd mention it. So that's it. I'm moving on. And it's like everything that happens is a wunderbar. Yes, indeed. Happy birthday to Jen. I appreciate the comments there, Mr. Beat After Beat. Love Beat After Beat. All right. So I'm going to close out of that window, move that over there so I can see it in front of me. One of the things I've loved doing the last couple of weeks is looking back in history. And these are the two records I chose. It's not the greatest day in history for new vinyl on September 5th. I mean, there's some records that have come out, but stuff that kind of fits my wheelhouse. I went with Soundgarden, Louder Than Love from 1989. It's so easy to forget that Nirvana and Soundgarden, they got their start in the 80s. So is it fair to call them 80s bands? Would you call Van Halen a 70s band? Probably not. They're more of an 80s band. I realized they had the bulk of their popularity in the 90s with Soundgarden and with Nirvana, but still, it's always fun to kind of especially make fun of people who love to make fun of 80s music by saying that, oh yeah, Nine Inch Nails, they're an 80s band because they started in 1989. So anyways, there you go. Louder Than Love came out September 5th, 1989, and then Contagious by Y&T. Of course, that's led by Dave Metachetti. That came out September 5th, 1987. It's so funny that there was only 2 years apart between these records, and you would say, oh my God, Y&T, so much an 80s band, and then you'd say Soundgarden, oh my God, they're definitely a 90s band, but there's only really 2 years apart between these records. So it's funny. The Y&T record actually produced by Tom Allom, who produced a majority of the Judas Priest records, and he produced the first Def Leppard record as well. So On Through the Night. So that's super cool. Notable singles, Summertime Girls, She's Hot. Indeed. Contagious. I love that riff in Contagious. It is so good. Lipstick and Leather is another great song. As an 80s guy, it's going to be pretty hard to beat in my humble opinion. I know if you're a 90s guy or 90s guy, it's all affectionate. Louder Than Love is probably the call there. And that sold over 1 million copies in the US. Obviously, the notable singles there, Loud Love, Hands All Over, and Get on the Snake. That sounds very much like an 80s hair metal type of song, right? Motley Crue doing Get on the Snake, baby. And right? Exactly. So I don't know. Who you got there? I'm going Y&T because I'm an 80s guy. I love Dave Metachetti. That guy is a hell of a guitarist. The riffs are fantastic. Summertime Girls, Contagious, Lipstick and Leather. Always super cool. Hey, Jeff, thanks for hanging out. Good to see Jeff. It's been a long time. You know, I love it when old friends of the store stop in and say hello because it's been a long time. So there you go. And I guess we're 4 weeks away from that Taylor release, Jeff. So you got to lock up your daughters because if there's a bunch of explicit lyrics again, like it was on the last record, they ain't getting that record, are they? Indeed. Hey, Dylan, thanks for wishing Jen Jen a happy birthday. Yeah, it's Jen's birthday tomorrow. That is super nice of you, Dylan. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, anyways, that's the battle. I think I saw that. Beat after beat. You and I, buddy boy, we got it going on. We got good taste in music. Let's just put it that way. I'm not going to toot my own horn. I'll toot your horn by telling you that you have great taste in music, and then by default, I have great taste in music. So it worked out for both of us there. So Y&T Contagious, the better record in my humble opinion. If it was Soundgarden, if it would have been Super Unknown, or if it would have been another one of those records that came out in the first half of the 90s, it would have probably been a little tougher. Benson Boone, oh my God. Jeff mentioned that he's taking his youngins to Benson Boone. Don't get Jen started on Benson Boone. She is not a Benson Boone fan. She's just like, oh. Anyways, so, all right, cool. Some new announcements. Depeche Mode reissuing their catalog. They reissued kind of their big four albums, and now they're doing like Exciter and also Some Great Reward, and then a couple of other records as well. So those will be coming into stores here probably in the next month or so. Randy Newman, because I know you love LA, this is actually being reissued by Rhino Records. And it's on the Rhino Reserve. So it's going to be kind of a higher quality vinyl, which is, I guess I wish all vinyl would be higher quality, but I guess we don't live in that world, so it is what it is. So there you go. And then the Beatles, of course, everybody loves the Beatles. If you haven't bought this record on vinyl several times, on CD several times, on cassette once, on Dolby Atmos once, and probably via Spotify, you've listened to the Abbey Road record. Well, why not buy another copy? Paul needs the money. Ringo, he's Ringo, baby. Not too shabby. The estates of George and John, don't know how they're doing, but probably doing pretty good. So, but this is going to be on green vinyl, matching the label. So it's kind of cool. Iconic record. I should do my 5 favorite Beatles albums or something. Sandy would crucify me because I am just not the biggest Beatle fan. I'm an Elvis guy, It's all about Elvis, baby. So there you go. What else? I think that's it. This is kind of the 3 big announcements there for vinyl today. So, and that's not really that big in some ways. There's some pop stuff coming out, but nobody needs that, right? No, not so much, but especially if you're watching Netflix. How about that Demon Hunter or whatever thing that I see everywhere now? I actually watched that with my niece. My niece, who's 12, she was in town last month. We watched that. Jen and I and Faith watched that together. And it wasn't the worst movie. It's kind of like an animated movie. It's K-pop, so it's Korean pop music. It was okay. So there's like the Soulja Boys versus the Demon Huntresses. And okay, it's pretty good, I guess. So there you go. Yeah, I got to get Sandy on. Sandy's going to stop by to help celebrate Jen's birthday on Sunday night. So that should be fun. I should ask Sandy what her top 5 albums are from the Beatles. Make her think about it. So there you go. Speaking of the top 5, these are the best Nirvana songs in my humble opinion. This is what I got. I'm not a fan of a lot of the commercial stuff of Nirvana because I just didn't think it was, because it's probably been burned out. Honestly, Smells Like Teen Spirit has just been burned out. I never need to hear that song again. I get it, it's what 2.5 billion plays on Spotify. Heart-Shaped Box is almost up to 1.5 billion plays on Spotify, or almost 1 billion plays on Spotify. And it's like, that song gives me that creep. So that's why I kind of leave that one out. So there you go. Hey, my friend, Bad Monkey No Banana has stopped by. All right. I was talking, Jen and I were watching House Hunters International last night, speaking of monkeys. And I'm like, the guy was moving to Costa Rica, and he's like, oh my, and he's like kind of in the jungle a little bit, but near the beach. And I'm like, oh my God, these monkeys are going to show up and take all of his food and stuff. And Jen's like telling me the story of how Ross, what was that, David Schwimmer, remember on Friends, the first year of Friends, they had like the monkey apparently reading a friend's book or a David Schwimmer autobiography. Jen was telling me that apparently Schwimmer hated that monkey from the first year of Friends because, I mean, monkeys are cute until they're not. Let's just put it that way. But apparently, they've got those monkeys. The same monkey that they have in Friends are native to the island of Costa Rica, and then they have something called howler monkeys as well, which are like the loudest land-based animals in the world. So, how would you like to live there? I don't know if I'd really dig that. So there you go. I've owned, maybe have I owned a Nirvana record? I'm sure I have at one point. I might have owned In Bloom or something. Not In Bloom, but the baby one, whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. I don't even know the name of. Oh, it's right there. Never mind. Wow, I'm dumb. Anyways, number five on my list of best Nirvana songs. I'm going Love Buzz, baby. I actually started listening to that song a couple of days ago. I heard it on. Oh, I know who was playing it. It was Duff McKagan and Susan Holmes McKagan that do this show on Sirius XM on Ozzy's Boneyard. And Duff, I don't know if you know this from Guns N' Roses, huge punk fan. So, and he's from Seattle as well. So apparently this was done by the band Shocking Blue that did the song that ended Breaking Bad, I forget what song that was. But anyways, this is a cover. It was kind of their first single from Bleach. In fact, I don't think Bleach was even out then. But Love Buzz. And I really like that song. It's a really good song, and I think it's a really good cover. So I'm going number 5, Love Buzz. Number 4, of course, Bowie Baby. Love that. Man Who Sold the World from MTV Unplugged. Number 3, I've always liked All Apologies. I think that's probably the best song off of In Utero. Well, of course, it is the best song off In Utero because I have it as number 3. So there you go. Number 2, In Bloom. I love the drumming on that song. It is fantastic. It's probably one of their heaviest songs in some ways, next to my number 1, which would be Negative Creep from Bleach. So those are my 5 best Nirvana songs. I think those are the 5 best Nirvana songs ever put on tape or on digital tape. So there you go. Not too shabby. All right, cool. Hey, if you're digging the show, make sure you pound the like button because there's nothing that deserves a good time more than a fun pounding. I think I speak for the guys and the ladies out there that there's nothing like a good pounding to set you straight, so to speak. Get your hips lined up, everything like that. So make sure you smash the like button if you're into that. Jeff mentions he disliked the Monkees ever since that Dustin Hoffman movie from the 90s called Outbreak. I actually went back and watched that movie when COVID hit. And I don't know if I can say COVID on YouTube anymore because YouTube is YouTube, and I get it. So it is what it is. It's like the music industry. You can't play music in podcasts or in video shows because that would be a mortal sin because they wouldn't be able to get their check if you played podcasts, or music. So it is what it is. Hey, Tito, good to see you. I always love Tito. Tito, one of my favorites from the live show when we did the live show, which is, I guess, when did we stop doing that? That was in April now. So let me count. Let me see how many. I might have to use my toes on this one. April, May, June, July, August, September. So we're coming up on 6 months since we did the live show. I do miss doing the live show. I thought it was super fun. Of course, Jeff was in there bidding all the time. I could not control this guy. He'd be like, $700. I'd be like, Jeff, you need to chill out. I only am asking $9 for this John Lennon record. He'd be like, $700. And I'd like, no. And then Amy would come in and she'd bid $710. And then Jeff would be like, $1,300. John Lennon, I'm thinking, do you really need that record for $1,300, Jeff? And anyways, it was something else. So, but I missed that show. And yeah. So there you go. Not too shabby. I should look up to see, because I can do this. I'm going to do this really quick. What was the last record that you bought from us, Tito? I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. So fun. Of course, I don't think Beat After Beat ever experienced the live show unless you have a nom de plume that I don't know about. So Tito, I found it, Tito. There it is. Let's see. The last thing you got from us was, I think it was a couple of pre-orders. Oh, yeah, Taiketo. and In Excess, Listen Like Thieves. Nice. Real nice. And then probably from the live show, the last record would have been, let's see here. It would have been Wang Chung, Everybody Have Fun Tonight from Record Store Day, Bruce Hornsby in the Range, The Way It Is, Striper, In God We Trust, and Simple Minds. So Tito, very, very nice. Now I'm going to look up Jeff. I should do this with everybody that comes on the show. All right, hang on a second. Let me find your last order in the store. It was probably a John Lennon record. I get it, but it is what it is, Jeff. Let's see, Jeff. Let's see. There you are. Let's see. April 26th. Look at that. Billy Joel's Greatest Hits, Volume 1 and 2. Arrested Development. Nice pickup there, buddy. Nice pickup. 3 years, 5 months, and 2 days in the life of. And then Olivia Rodrigo, Sour. That must have been for your private collection, of course, because, I know how much you love Olivia Rodrigo. But that was actually when we started discounting. So that's unfair, Jeff. So let me find, Jar of Flies would have been your the last full price record that you picked up. So very nice. Yeah, we did a live show for about maybe about 15 to 16, 17 months that started in January 2024 and went through April of 2020, where we'd sell records from the record store live on YouTube and Facebook. It was a lot of fun, man. It was so much fun. It was great. And then let me find let's see, another record that, Pennywise. I think we ordered that special for you, Jeff. So there you go. Cool. All right. What else is going on? Name that tune. Here it is. Boom. This is where I show you a still image from a movie, and you got to name the movie. You've got to name, I guess it's only fitting that Jeff's here today because he's a former Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine, I should say. I apologize. You need to name the movie, and then you need to name the song in this particular scene, and then you need to name the artist. And if you're watching the show, obviously, if you're not live watching the show, you're not going to know what I'm talking about, especially if you're listening to something like Spotify After the Fact or Apple Podcasts. So let me try to describe what's going on. This is a shot of three people on the corner of, it looks like a foreign, it's not in the US because I can tell from the background. I guess it's probably from Vietnam. It looks very Vietnamese in the background there, at least the language, if I know my language that well. And there's one young man sitting in fatigues, in green fatigues, taking a picture of another young man who's standing up next to a woman that is very scantily clad, and she's almost posing. And the other Marine in this particular case is looking at her with a big smile on his face. So, and it's on the corner once again, outside in, I'm guessing it might be Vietnam, but probably a country in Southeast Asia somewhere. So that's the movie. So can you name the song in this particular scene? I started this a couple of days ago. The first one was, what was it? Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And it was, the Phoebe Cates. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I've been waiting for you, Brad, or I've been thinking about you, Brad. And of course, that was the Cars. Beat After Beat nailed that. And then Beat After Beat also nailed the one yesterday, which was Risky Business. Tommy Cruise in his underalls, and then little Bob Seger, Old Time Rock and Roll. So there you go. All right, cool. Jeff knows this. So Jeff is the big winner today. Very nice. And James. Hey, James. Hey, thanks for hanging out. I should see what James's last order was with us. James, let me see what your last order is. James was a regular on the live show. Let's see. James's last order was 25 number one hits for 25 years. The Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, very nice. Christopher Cross, self-titled. Ooh, and I love this one. The Outfield Play Deep. So that was James's last order with us when we were doing the live show from April 18th. So there you go. And so Jeff and James both named Full Metal Jacket. That is correct. And Jeff, he knows his Full Metal Jacket because these boots are made for walking by Miss Nancy Sinatra. My mama only lets me spend $5. So that's what Private Joker says to the young lady here. And yeah, this is the infamous young lady whose famous line is uttered in the Two Live Crew. Two Live Crew song. I don't know what the Two Live Crew song is called. Is it called what I think it's called? Two Live Crew. Is it? Let's see. Is that what the song? Oh, it is called that. Yeah, so there you go. I'm going to skip saying that because YouTube is very sensitive. So I'm going to pass on that. All right. Before we get out of here, a couple of concerts announcements. You have a girlfriend in Vietnam. That's such a great movie. I love. See, like 3 of the funniest movies ever made. I'll always say this: 3 of the funniest movies ever made. Fargo. I know it's like a black comedy and stuff. It's very dark. Same with Full Metal Jacket is one of the funniest movies ever made. And then finally, what's the other one? Oh, Reservoir Dogs by Quentin Tarantino. One of the funniest movies ever made. You got a girlfriend in Vietnam? And indeed, James, that is so good. Tito missed the humor there. I love that. I love when Tito drops the yeah. That is Jen and I talk about that, and occasionally we still do that, Tito. Occasionally, sometimes, in your honor, because we missed that from the live show. Stained, see, here's a band that I kind of dig. Obviously, Been a While is the big song from Stained. The Stained records have never been pressed on vinyl, at least those classic records from Stained. So I don't know why that is. I know the lead singer there is a little outside the purview of the thought police and the music industry. I get that. He marches to the beat of his own drums. So I don't know if that would be the reason, but if there was ever a catalog that needed to be pressed on vinyl, it should be the Stained records, in my humble opinion. So there you go. Indeed, indeed, Jeff. Also, Aftershock. Oh, hang on a second. Let me check the Stained tour dates. Are they playing anywhere? Oh, looks like they're playing mostly in Oklahoma. Actually, 3 shows in Oklahoma. Gary, Indiana. Rockford, Illinois, home of Rick Nielsen and Cheap Trick. Verona, New York. Atlantic City. And Mashantucket, Connecticut. All right, cool. Also, Aftershock coming up. I guess we're about a month away from Aftershock. That comes up. And I was thinking about this. So if you had to choose 3, if you could only go see 3 of these bands that are on the bill, which 3 would you go and see? I would probably go and see Korn. Jen would not go with me, though, to that because she'd be like, ooh. But I'd kind of want to see Korn. I'd go see Marilyn Manson, who's on the bill. I'd definitely go see Marilyn Manson. And then, Rob Zombie, too. So hang on a second. I'm going Marilyn Manson for sure. Rob Zombie for sure. And let's see, Lamb of God's there. Perfect Circle. Good Charlotte, I don't think so. Bad Omens are kind of cool. Deftones, also very cool. Turnstile. Turnstile or Korn. I might go see Turnstile. Turnstile is a very cool band. And then let's see, anybody else? Dream Theater would be cool to see. But yeah, okay. So my big 3 right there would be I'd go see Marilyn Manson, I'd go see Rob Zombie, and I'd go see Turnstile. Those would be my 3 bands off of that bill that I would go see. So if you have a particular choice there, you can obviously leave a comment or you can type it in live in the chat. And then finally, a concert announcement from Grant Lee Phillips. I think this is the guy that was on the Gilmore Girls, wasn't it? I think it was the guy that's from the Gilmore Girls. Looks like he's doing a bunch of shows. I do not see a show in Arizona. I see some stuff overseas, Massachusetts. I also see shows in California, Washington, and Oregon. So I don't know if you're a Grant Lee Phillips fan. I could not name a Grant Lee Phillips record. So there you go. All right. Aftershock, my 3 were Marilyn, Rob Zombie, and Turnstile. Beat After Beat is going with Rob Zombie. Nice. Dream Theater. Nice. And Testament. Testament is on the bill there. In tiny letters, some of these bands, you just can't see it. And then Dylan going Blink 182. Blink is really cool. And they're really good live, I've heard. At least they're really good on tape. I know that, but I don't know if they're live on tape, but hopefully they are. Deftones, very cool, and Marilyn Manson as well. So very nice. And then Jeff going APC. I need to figure that one out. I don't know what APC is. Korn and then Marilyn Manson. APC. What the hell is APC? That's an initial there. And a perfect circle. There you go. Took me a while. I'm a little slow on the, So there you go. All right, cool. What is this? Jeff also mentions with a tour like that, I'm surprised Stain isn't playing a show in Eloy. Was that a shot? I'm not sure if that was a shot or not. I'm not sure indeed if that was a shot. So it might have been a shot. You never know. So there you go. So what did we learn today? We learned that the best song ever by Nirvana is Negative Creep. And then I've also learned that Love Buzz is actually a really good song by Shocking Blue, who did, what was Shocking Blue's biggest hits songs? That's not it. Love Buzz. Wasn't Shocking Blue? They did the, what the hell was that? Breaking Bad. Shocking Blue, yes. Oh, Baby Blue. That's what it. I'm so dumb. Sorry about that. We also learned that in 1984 in Mountain Air, California, there was a hell of a bill with Huey Lewis, The Cars, REM, and special guest Rat. Can't beat that lineup. My God. We also learned that the best record to come out on September 5th in the history of the world was this one. On your right, that is Contagious by the great YNT with Dave Metachetti. I'm going to go listen to Contagious right now, in fact, after the show. And then finally, we learned that, Stanley Kubrick made really great movies, and this was one of them. It was called Full Metal Jacket, and the iconic scene. Actually, there's a bunch of stuff, like The Bird is the Word, bird, the bird is the word, among others. Great soundtrack, especially the second half of the movie has the great soundtrack. Arlie Ermy was fabulous as the drill instructor, man. Some of those lines after the haircuts at the beginning, man. Ooh-wee. Those are some classic lines. And then we also learned that everybody wants to go see, I think, Marilyn Manson. I mean, I think we're kind of all in agreement there, or Rob Zombie. So there you go. Beat after beat. Yeah, have a great weekend. I appreciate you hanging out and right up there with Ela, Gary, Indiana. I know what you're talking about there. So anyways, make sure you smash the like button. I appreciate it. Of course, we're live here every, Monday through Friday, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. That is 3 Pacific, 5 in the Central Time Zone. And football is here. Pretty good game last night between the Cowboys and the Eagles, I guess. I was kind of rooting for the Cowboys because I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of an upset. Didn't happen tonight. We've got, the Chargers and the Chiefs from Brazil. So very nice. And if we're going to get a Super Bowl announcement, if Taylor Swift is playing the Super Bowl, I'm guessing it's going to be announced tonight because the Chiefs are playing. We shall see. Though I still think it's probably going to be Jay-Z or somebody in Jay-Z's inner circle because his company runs the Super Bowl and has been running the halftime show for the last 7-8 years. So there you go. All right, cool. That's it. I appreciate everybody hanging out beat after beat. Dylan, good to see you. Also, James, great to see you. Jeff, great to see you. Tito, great to see you as well. Am I missing anybody else that dropped in to see what condition my condition was in? I think I got everybody there. So I think Bad Monkey, of course, but he was a little funny, man. I think he had a bad banana and probably had to run to the toilet because you never know when you have a bad banana and you got to run to the toilet. That's right, exactly. So, anyways, have yourself a great weekend. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Did I say Dylan? Thanks, Dylan. Have yourself a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.